Well, just for an instant, it looked as if that might be a handy net caught for Courier, but Muster was so quick that it certainly wasn't.
He didn't mess around with it when he got there. Watch how hard he hits this ball. Even if Courier were there, I doubt if he would have been able to hit it back.
Oh, what a shot.
Let's just have a look and see just how good a shot it was, and it was an absolutely unbelievable shot. I think the biggest significance of the break, well, Courier is playing a little bit better.
Love 4. Oh, now it's turning into the thriller that we all expected.
Some unorthodox shots in that rally. There's a good reflex there from Muster, and a good scramble there, because it was not a bad angle from Courier.
Turn the TV off. We don't give a shit about the cricket. Turn it off.
We don't care about the cricket either.
Well, obviously Jim Courier knows his Melbourne geography, because he's a great baseball fan. Well, at the moment he can smile through it. I guess it may become less of a smiling matter if it continues.
This will become a pain in the neck, but it's good for him to be smiling. He's 4 love down, so it will help him to relax, and perhaps may even help Muster lose a bit of concentration.
Well, now we're back to where we were before the break, with Muster dominant and Courier struggling for form. 3 points for 5 love. Gosh, it must be a long time since Jim Courier lost a set to love.
Yeah, I can't even recall if he has done it. He's won a few to love. You mentioned about his interest in baseball. Well, as a young boy, he always believed that he would grow up as a pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds.
Second ace. Of course, Courier came from love 40 down in the opening game of the match, but still lost his serve, having got it back to deuce. Another long look from Muster. My gut reaction was it found the line, and just a little look at Wayne McEwen in the umpire's chair, but no look at the line judge. I reckon he thought it was good in the end.
some superstitious tennis players that hate to win a first set 6-love. I feel that it's a bad omen that they'll go on and lose the match. I'm sure Muster doesn't believe that he could do that.
Game Courier.
So a big hand as the 2 times champion here opens his account.
Muster leads 4-1.
And after 28 minutes of actual playing time, but over an hour since we got started, it's 4 games to 1. Let me reiterate what we were saying when we originally came on the air, what, an hour and 20 minutes ago. It has been almost unbelievably hot today. It got up to 40 degrees Celsius in the shade. 41.2 was the highest temperature of the day. 60.7 on the court in the sun. That's 141 degrees. But the roof stayed open. The tournament saying, well, it has to be the same for everybody, at least in the singles competition. And since there were matches scheduled today and were played today on courts 1 and 2, they wouldn't shut the roof on the centre. From tomorrow on, we're down to the quarterfinals tomorrow. All singles matches will be played on the centre, and if the temperature exceeds 35 degrees, they will consider shutting the roof. And from what we understand, it is highly likely to be more than 35 degrees at least tomorrow. We shall see. Not a problem, or so much of a problem now at 20 past 10 in the evening. 4-1 Muster serving. Second ace from Muster.
Just not taking any chances. That ball had no chance to come back, but he literally flew up to the net just in case he misjudged the flight of the ball.
Oh, what a shot at the end of that.
Brilliant shot, but once again Muster leaving his forehand side open for the Courier forehand down the line.
Advantage Courier.
Well, now we see the importance of Muster holding to go 4-love up, because he's in danger of losing one of his breaks. Courier is undoubtedly playing better than before the floodlight failure. Oh, well played.
Sheer power on the approach, and this is a good smash. He's well behind the service line when he hits the ball. Gets tremendous power with the smash.
These two had a marathon practice session together in Doha. They were both playing in the Qatar Open in the middle of the week when they had a day off from singles. They went out and hit for well over 2 hours. Now, Bob, weren't you saying we wouldn't see too much finesse in this match?
I did say that, and I have to take it back, because this is one of the most superb little flick of the wrist angle backhand cross-court passing shots I've seen for a mighty long time.
(1-5), Courier serving to stay in this opening set.
15-love.
Fourth ace from the Floridian. Now has his home in Miami.
Thinking about that practice session you were mentioning, and I'm sure that both wanted to have a real hard workout, you know, building up for the Australian, check their fitness, but I'm sure they were each trying to dominate the other one mentally. I wonder which one of the two said first, well, you know, we had enough.
Well, there's the drop shot that Bob Hewitt was also talking about.
He takes the racket back as if he's going to play a big forehand, so the disguise was absolutely superb. No need for him to have taken the one hand off there. He was so quickly there. He almost hit it like he was crazy mad. He wasn't going for Muster.
Well, Courier is at least managing to hold serve now.
Muster leads 5-2.
But Thomas Muster will serve for the opening set at 5-2.
Well, I don't know if the break was a good thing or not a good thing, because Certainly Muster was playing extraordinarily well before the lights went out, and Courier less than well. But, it's always nice to see a player playing at his or her absolute best. We were delighted for 3 games anyway with the play of Thomas Muster. But, since the break, it's been that much more even a match, and so it's got its own excitement in that respect. We're still seeing plenty of power from both players, but surprisingly enough, we've seen a couple of touch shots. The one angle pass from Muster, the drop shot on the forehand side from Courier. All set up by the fine first serve, and he moved in very, very well for that volley. He didn't wait for the ball to come to him. He went to it.
That's a shot that Courier does find it difficult to play, the backhand down the line. Three set points for Thomas Muster. Well, Muster ends the set as impressively as he started it with a love service game. Set that lasted 41 minutes of actual playing time. But, over an hour and 20 minutes in actual time. Fifth ace. Well, important here for Courier to hold his own at the start of the second set, having been steamrolled early in the first.
He's got to keep the momentum going now that he's got it going as a result of the blackout. This is not what he needed.
2 break points.
just nothing that Muster could have done with that forehand attempted pass.
Yes, he needed to try and block that one back as well. Courier had hit the smash with such power.
He's so far back, I'm wondering if he wasn't a little bit concerned with hitting. You see, he almost hit that center lines lady.
Advantage, Muster.
And Courier keeps getting it back to juice and then playing a sloppy shot again.
Right, and he's certainly up until this stage, and we keep saying about the lights going out, but since the lights have gone out, he's gotten himself into all sorts of trouble, Courier, with some sloppy play, but he's gotten himself out of trouble with some brilliant play.
Advantage, Courier. Game, Courier.
Big game for Courier to have won.
This game, second set.
Opening game of the second set, and so often you see slightly lesser players just relaxing at the end of a set, beginning of the next one. But these top guys, they know just how crucial it is to get the early momentum in a set.
Well, if they don't, then they shouldn't be out there, because every point in a match is important. If you can beat your opponent 6-love, 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 you should be doing that. Doesn't matter whether you are being paid millions or whether you're just having fun at the club. I suppose it's not that much fun at the club to be on the receiving end of a love and love, but that's the best way to maintain your own momentum, your own form, and it shows a lot of respect to your opponent, in my opinion. So yes, Muster, having won that first set at 6-2, he was dearly wanting to get that break. In fact, he had 3 opportunities in that game to break serve, didn't get it. Won't worry him too much, because the momentum is still on his side. In fact, Courier now wearing a hat to keep the hair out of his eyes. Maybe some of the glare from the lights. They are very, very bright. They need to be.
Ace number 3 from Thomas Muster. Yes, there was a time when you never saw Jim Courier play a match without a cap. Magnificent athleticism from Musta.
Yes, when Courier won the French, I remember he wore a hat or a cap, and afterwards he threw it into the stands, and then he wanted to buy it back because he realized that maybe it was his lucky cap.
Game will start. 1-all.
Two successive love service games for Thomas Muster, and you can see all the people there with their fans. That just gives you some idea of the heat, and it's now 20-11. Mentioned that last night it didn't get down below 25. Yes, complete mishit from Muster.
When it's hot in Melbourne, I can understand people swimming in a swimming pool or even in the Yarra, the upside down river, but in Louisiana, I wouldn't advise anybody to go swimming in a river down there.
Just a few alligators around, eh?
Yeah, there's a number of them.
Three double faults now.
I suppose if you saw an alligator coming for you, you could very quickly learn to swim very fast. Under normal conditions, like with Courier there, you're coming into the net, you should do everything that you possibly can to play volley. That's the one time that he made the mistake. It was a very softly hit shot from Musta with underspin. Had he been quick enough to stop, the ball would have set up nicely for him to hit it. Played a couple of good lobs in his previous match, didn't he? With Musta. That one just going over the baseline.
So we... Excuse me, I'll get rid of it. It's the Austrian serving 1-2 in the second set. And the macho man Musta proving that he has the most delicate of touch.
That's the return of serve I thought we might see a little bit more often. Of course, in order to do it, he's going to have to receive the kick serve out wide.
It ended a run of 10 successive points to Muster on his own serve. And that's much better from Courier. And if he can string a few points like those together, this could get very interesting. Well, Muster looking at the court, but I think he has only himself to blame for that.
So I think it may have shot off the line a little bit. Certainly he wasn't questioning the call.
Break point. A second double fault from Muster gifts Jim Courier his first break of the match. Just how significant will that prove to be? (3-1) Courier.
Both players before the beginning of this game have played 45 points on serve. Courier's gotten 24 first serves in, Muster 23. Very similar. Most people hit the ball cross court, and if you do have a good down the line shot, mixing it up with your cross court, the down the line shot can win you many points. That was really close. He's having another look, but the call's going to stand.
Yes, I wonder what might have happened but for the tiny little brush on the net cord, because as we've seen, it does just deflect the ball. He missed by a whisker. Well, that's stunning stuff, really, because Muster getting to so many shots that you thought Courier had come up with a winner.
It's It's almost a situation where Courier hit the winner 3 times and only gets 1 point for it.
Well, suddenly Jim Courier is winning the points that really matter. He was love 30 down in that game, but he came back to extend his advantage in the second set. 4-1 now to the American.
Long 30.
Well, that's the perfect time to throw up the lob, of course, when your opponent is racing forward.
15-13.
And it's the backhand from the left-hander down the line over the right-hander's backhand side, so perfect placement. I think he tried a little bit too much disguise there. The best way to play the drop shot is just to take the racket back normally, as if you're going to play a normal stroke, and then come through different to play the drop shot. And that time Courier took the racket back all differently, threw his timing off completely.
Well, nice of Muster to give Courier another chance at playing the lob.
Well, there's always that danger if he goes to the backhand with the backhand smash to the forehand side of Courier. If Courier's there, Courier can just nail a forehand down the line.
Muster serving and volleying.
Courier leads 4-2.
And the Austrians turn to win a service game from love 30. But now you feel as if these two really are both into their strides. Wonderful setting, I think, this. But then all the centre courts of the Grand Slams, with the possible exception of Flushing Meadow, have their own attractions. Hopefully we'll have a new centre court this year.
Looks a good one too.
If it's
very big.
Yes, if it's finished on time.
So I think if you do go to Flushing Meadows this year and that centre court is finished and you get a seat high up, don't forget to take your binoculars. Bad luck for Courier that the forehand approach clipped the net and it just sat up. It ended up being fairly deep, but Muster had tremendous power with that backhand pass.
Oh, that's a stunning shot. Incredible angle, and there seemed to be a little bit of cut on the ball. It was always going further and further away from Muster.
Just have a look at it here. This one. Got a little bit of side spin.
Six ace of the match from Courier takes him to a 5-2 second set lead. Both men having to work hard to hold their service games, but both men doing so. You see the dustbins the players have got beside them. One for all the discarded clothing. Thomas Muster has actually got his filled, I think, with cold water, and he's dipping towels in it and then wiping himself with cold towels. Here we go. Full of ice. And it is extraordinary, isn't it? Here we are, just gone 11 o'clock at night, and still the players really worried, and quite rightly so, about the effects of heat.
And, you know, the tension that the players go through during a match, both mental and the physical punishment that they go through, it's jolly difficult for them to play today, then come back and play again tomorrow, even though they are superb athletes and they're very, very fit. But the heat, you almost need 2 days to recover, not just the 1 day, because it does take so much out of you. And it's nice and cool right now in Melbourne.
It might be for you.
Compared to today, yes. But it's still down hot. And they're working hard.
15 love.
Yes, they'll, of course, get a day off before the winner plays the quarter-final. Incidentally, will be against either Goran Ivanisevic or Christian Ruud. Of course, that match has already been played, but as it is one that we intend showing you later, we won't give anything away.
40 love.
Love service game for Thomas Muster.
Courier leads 5-3.
But Jim Courier will serve for the second set, and he'll have the benefit of new tennis balls. Both men, understandably, making frequent use of the towel. Broken a string. And this is the illustration of where, because it's the server who's broken a string, he won't get a first serve. It'll be second serve. If it was the receiver who'd broken a string, it would be let first serve.
I don't know if the one he broke was one he'd already had restrung, but the one he's just picked up now has just been returned to him, having been restrung. Let's hope the stringer did a good job. They usually do.
Three set points for Jim Courier to tie the match up. Oh, really stepped into that backhand pass, did Muster. An hour and 17 minutes of actual playing time, and we are back to where we started. Absolutely level, and it becomes the best of three-set match. Well, he obviously didn't like that restring because he's gone for another one. Yep, and that one's going off. Oops, they're certainly being kept busy tonight, the stringers. It will, this of course is their 10th match, and it'll be only the second that will go to 4 sets. They met at the same stage, the 4th round of the French Open in 1993, and Courier won in 4 sets. He won sets 1, 3 and 4 on that occasion. Their other Grand Slam meetings have all been decided in 3 straight sets, and all in Courier's favour.
Well, now the mental games really begin to play perhaps on Muster, because he does have that losing record against Courier, and he had the first set, and now Courier's got the second. Is he thinking, well, here we go again, or is he thinking, okay, he's got a set and that's all he's going to get?
We haven't seen on your screen, on our monitor, the coaches. Of course, Thomas Muster has been with Ronnie Lightkeep for a long time. Jim Courier has a new coach, though, Harold Solomon, who for many years has been with Mary Jo Fernandez. Third set, Muster to serve.
30 love.
Sitting on that point, must have made Courier do a heck of a lot of work. Could have gone into the net behind that previous shot.
And he's looked pretty effective at the net as Thomas Muster in this match. And again, he's stringing together some love service games.
He certainly has strung it together a number of love service games. Four, in fact. That's a little bit unusual when you think that whilst he's serving as well as I've seen him serve before, he's up against a man who does hit the returns very well and the rest of the ground strokes very well. So to win a love game against Courier is a pretty good achievement. Both players just trying to remain focused on what they need to do. They know what they need to do. It's a matter of whether they feel that it's working well enough to take them to victory, or if they should take one or two alternative chances. I'd be surprised at this early stage of the third set if either took too many chances on doing something different. Yet this third set becomes so vital now for so many different reasons. Courier, if he should win the third set, then he really is going to dominate. But if Muster can win the third set, perhaps he can take all the domination away from Courier.
Oh my.
That was well out. It didn't even need a linesman to call that one.
That was very nearly into the stands on the full. Just got the ball much too close to him, of course, and it came up a little bit more than he was expecting. Ace number 7.
See how close it was. It looked like it was just over the baseline.
Yes, it was a good call from the line judge, because she would have been hindered by Courier standing just about on the line. 1 set all and 1 game all.
third set may be vital to both players, but one mustn't expect either to be at all conservative in their play. Not in their nature.
Just for a moment I thought Courier might have made that pass, because Muster certainly wasn't covering it.
Fraction play limits. Wasn't wide, Thomas. Wasn't wide.
Oh, no.
First overrule of the match from Wayne McEwen. Replaying the point at 15-all. Certainly not 15-30.
Let's go.
And a little stare at the umpire as well.
If looks could kill, he'd be dead. And I think this lob was going to maybe go a little bit wide as well. But he needed to get some venom out of his system.
14-15.
Yes, never one to back off an argument, Thomas Muster. Be a great guy to take into the trenches with you. Well, Courier needed just one break point to get the one break of the second set.
Juice.
A bit of extra depth that time from the Muster backhand, really driving Courier way back past the baseline. Attempted to go round the net, which is perfectly legal.
It is, but it's not legal to go right through the ball person. There was you could see the ball person knew exactly what he was trying to do.
Incidentally, if a ball does hit a ball person, even though if it was going into court, then you lose the point, the person who struck the shot. Oh. Oh gosh, we don't need another injury. Well, I think he's hurt. He's an Iron Man, of course. He knows all about pain. He has a long-standing hip condition, and the doctors keep telling him to rest it, and he says, how do I do that? Seem to go over a little on the left ankle.
Yes.
Break point.
And always worries, of course, that it might be the knee that he so badly hurt.
Courier gets the break, and things beginning to turn in the Americans' favor. Once at all, but now Courier has the advantage in the third set. 2-1.
Achieve perfection.
Jim Courier now has his nose in front for the very first time in the match. Remember, he lost the first 3 games. Since then, he's been playing catch-up. And he's done that, and now he's overtaken.
Both players so jolly fit that you watch them now, and they've been out there for some time, and they've played 2.5 sets. It's been hard work. They've done a lot of running, a lot of hard hitting, and yet they're hardly breathing. Don't quite know if that's the right terminology I should be using by saying hardly breathing, but I hope you all understand what I meant.
Oh! Well, if he'd made that, that could have been the shot of the championships.
15.
It's all right, Bob. We issue all Eurosport viewers with a special dictionary of Hewitt phrases before you come and join us.
I think if that would have been Noah or Sabatini, that was a between the legs shot, that last one. What a pity that Sabatini has decided to retire. Injuries, not playing well, and certainly not living up to her potential. Now she's off doing other things.
Yes, that was a difficult one for Courier. So much topspin on it.
So I think the only way that Courier could have controlled this ball at all would have been to try to go cross court, but it was too good for him to have done that.
Fourth double fault from Courier, and here are 2 breakback points for Muster. must have produced that one from. Took everybody, especially Courier, by surprise. Just when you thought that Courier had got to grips with this match, Muster has snapped back at him. Broken back. It's 2-all.
Haven't seen many shots into the crowds this year with the banners. One of the few that I've seen. Well, it was his for the taking.
Maybe he's got a fixation almost with the drop shots, and they're beginning to hurt him. Oh, Thomas, how many chances do you want to give your opponent?
He reads where it's going, and then he stays there for the backhand volley, rifles the backhand passing shot down the line.
So Thomas Muster regains the initiative, though of course on serve, but Courier just seems to have hit a bad patch. I mean, the last couple of games he's hit a lot of poor shots, really.
I don't like what I'm seeing there. I don't know if he's saying that I hurt it when I fell, or I'm maybe getting a little bit of cramp. Certainly I hope he hurt it a little bit when he fell, because you can always get over that.
Yes, of course, it was on this court a few years ago that Andrei Medvedev fell and broke a wrist on his left hand, of course, which he uses for the double-hander. He played out the rest of the match before realizing that he had broken it. But I do think he's calling for assistance.
He has.
Bill Norris. I wonder if he scraped some skin off on that fall. Bill's been around the tour for a long time. Oh, no, wait a minute. It looks like it's a blister. Ugh. A series of blisters.
No, I don't think he's got feeling in his fingertips.
Oh, yeah.
Bill Norris is obvious in a States has been thought of as being John Denver, the country and western singer, And of course he loves that. You know, when people come up to him at the airport and say, "Are you John Denver?" Of course he says yes, and he gives them a whole spiel. I mean, what a personality this man's got. But he knows his business.
Yes, all my thoughts about blisters. What a load of rubbish I was talking there. But,
Yes. I'll forgive you.
I'll say it before you do. But, it's just testing, obviously, for the feeling. See if anything was broken.
Obviously, what he did when he fell, when he fell, he actually fell twisting his ankle, didn't he? And then he sort of slowly went over, almost went onto the shoulder. I don't know if he sort of landed onto the shoulder or what he did, but I think it looks like he's going to get some stretching done now.
Yeah, now what's going on?
Because the trainer first has to diagnose what the problem is, and then he tells you that, tells the umpire that we need an injury timeout here.
Well, of course he's got his, is it the old hip again? By the looks of it, some way he was manipulating that. Rather him than me, I think.
Yes, yes. But, he's very gentle. He's extremely gentle, Ross. I mean, he would never hurt you. Certainly, he would never hurt you with a smile on his face. You know? Well, let's hope it's done the trick.
What a tournament it's been for injuries and retire. Fascinating. Match is fascinatingly poised. 2-3, third set, Courier serving. These double faults beginning to look a little expensive. 5. Of course, a crucial one in his last service game.
Why?
I don't know.
Couldn't have been a ball that was running, rolling on the court.
I don't know whether it was some litter or something. Well, you can see there something blowing across the court.
Jamming him on the serve You don't see that enough in the modern day tennis. Only need to do it about 10 or 15% of the time, but it does keep your opponent honest.
So we come to a crucial stage of the match. The second half of the third set at 1-1 all. Both men striving for the ascendancy. Well, a couple of times now he's caught him with that forehand going back to the forehand.
Very, very effective, that's for sure. Courier has similar habit as Muster. He's always leaning towards his backhand side, so he's always vulnerable to that shot to the forehand. Before this game began, both players had served 77 balls on their serves, and Muster had gotten 44 first serves in, and Courier 43. So difficult to always catch up to that forehand approach. He gets so much topspin on it, it always goes away from you.
Big serving from Thomas Muster, a fourth ace. 4-3 he leads, and more treatment. Well, I'm bemused as to what the problem is. We've had every sort of part of Muster's anatomy getting attention. We know about the long-standing hip problem. We saw the fall. Well, does seem to be still worried about the racket arm, doesn't he? So maybe when he fell, he jarred a nerve, pinched a nerve.
That's what I'm assuming that he must have done.
One thing's for certain, that if there's one breath left in his body, Thomas Muster would stay on this tennis court. He's used to playing through the pain.
Well, every sports person, we can talk about sports people if we like, or just stick to tennis, but every tennis player that has been playing tennis for a year or two is not injury-free, in my opinion. There's always something wrong with them. It's just the nature of the game and the strain on the body, but they get used to it, they get some treatment, and then they get ice afterwards, and they just play through the pain until eventually it gets too much, and then they have an operation, or they have a bit of a holiday and then come back again and do it all over again. it's never easy to be the other player when you see your opponent getting treatment on the court. You know that there's something wrong. You can look and work out yourself what's wrong, but you've got to keep focused and continue to play your own game, not worried about the injury, what might be worrying them. Play conservatively. A lot of things can go wrong with you when you think that your opponent is not healthy.
Well, one or two things certainly going wrong with Jim Courier's game at the moment. Lost the intensity that he had in the second set and the start of the third. 3-4, 15-30. Alarm bells ringing. And again, he was going for that drop shot. And I think it was too early in the rally to do so. And here's a real chance for Muster.
Well, the court was open to go for a good volley deep cross court, or even to go back down the line. Good pressure tennis up by Courier. Good break point down. It's such an advantage to get a first serve in. If you can serve an ace, that's great, but if you can't serve the ace, at least get a good strong first serve in and try to dominate the point. That's exactly what he did there.
They stay locked together on serve. Both men have had chances. 5-4 Muster.
Die Könige des Tierreichs, einzigartig in ihrer Faszination, gefürchtet wegen...
One set all 5-all after 2 hours and 4 minutes. Fifth ace. That's a fantastic game from Thomas Muster. Didn't put a foot wrong on the 4 points. And showing his opponent that as they approach the sharp end of this third set, that he's just really getting going.
Well, whatever the problem is that required treatment from Bill Norris, doesn't seem to be putting him off at all. He's certainly playing particularly well, hitting the ball very, very hard, as is this man. There's just no way you can call the result of this. I don't think that either player has an advantage. so even, and just have to feel that someone has to come up with maybe a brilliant couple of shots or to win. We hope it's not something controversial like a very, very lucky shot or a bad call.
Just coming up towards midnight, Melbourne time. 2 or 3 minutes to go. And very few people are going home. Courier trying to force a tiebreak. 5-6 in the third set. It's 1-set all. Just pulled it wide. Muster can't believe it.
He has to believe it because it was wide. Courier was in a little bit of trouble there. And, in comes Muster with the heavy topspin, but just didn't get enough topspin. Maybe got a little bit too much side spin, pulling the ball out wide.
Courier answers Muster's love service game with one of his own, and it's a tiebreak to decide this third set. Oh. What have I done to deserve that? Dead bounce off the net cord.
Well, he wouldn't have had too many problems had he decided to just play the normal backhand, but once he ran around the ball, he was always going to be in trouble there.
Must be an American net out there.
Can't believe it. That Courier's died and his just sits up and says, please hit me.
Muster recovers the mini break.
Just didn't get his feet over to that ball in time to hit it back.
6 ace from Muster. And 3 of them in this set.
Now the advantage really is with Muster. It's on serve, but he leads the 3-2, and Courier must win both his points. Otherwise, Muster is very, very likely to run away with the set. They're working out there, aren't they? They really are hitting the ball very hard, having to move, change direction. Tie break rules. You're supposed to keep walking around, but nobody is going to yell at either player for stopping just to towel off a little bit and have a sip of drink.
And if they did, they would be idiots.
Yes, and Melbourne people are not idiots.
1 set all, 6 games all, and 3 points all.
It's the second time he's done that to the same side, just in the last couple of games.
It's his 7th double fault, 4 in this set. And how often do we see that double faults in tie breaks are decisive? Thinks of the one that Tim Henman served on the first point of his tie break with Michael Chang. And that rubs it home. Ace number 7. So Muster's served 2 aces in the tiebreak and Courier 1 double.
He's really gone to pieces in this tiebreak as Courier with the double and a couple of sprayed shots, and that was really spraying a ball extremely wide.
3 set points for Thomas Muster. That's it. That's the set. 7-4. And really, Courier will be furious with himself, having led 2-love in the tiebreak. He then threw it away. So at the moment, certainly advantage Muster.
Full credit goes to Muster. He has a slight problem. It required
set.
Both players know that this is a vital game. Courier must hold his serve to keep his nose in front.
Oh, another one of those stunning into out forehands from Muster.
You have to protect the return back down the line, and that's what makes the cross court so effective. But still, he hits it so beautifully. He really is in trouble, is Jim Courier.
The wheels have come off the Courier wagon all of a sudden. And he needs to get them back on very rapidly, otherwise Muster is going to be through to the quarterfinals. 2-1 now to the Austrian and a break at the start of the fourth.
This is hard to know what really happened there. Jim Courier, we know from many years ago, he was the hardest trainer and therefore the fittest player in the game, and then he went wayward for a year or two, lost his ranking. He was #1 in the world. He went out, and now he's got his enthusiasm back, and his training, you could see what you can see of his body there. It looks in pretty good shape, so you know he's in good shape, but it just sometimes he just goes wayward mentally, and I would say in the last couple of games of that last set and in the tie-break, he was not quite there, and the more he wasn't there, the more Courier, or should I say Muster, really was there. Muster has really raised the level of his play.
Well, Muster will know that in the last set he broke back immediately, and that got him right back in it, and he'll be telling himself, don't you dare let that happen the other way around. Oh yes, that's a great shot. I don't know what on earth he's complaining about now.
He just likes to talk, that's all. I mean, it's, you know, it's not serious. I mean, keeps motivating himself by talking. maybe arguing a little bit, but he also knows that Courier is as good a fighter as he is.
Just missed.
It had winner all over it, didn't it? Until it bounced.
Worcester catches Courier in terms of aces. They both served 8 now.
That's a scrumptious point, really superb stuff. Great defending by Courier. That first lob of his is just, what, a foot from the baseline. It must have nearly hit the roof, or would have hit the roof if it had been closed. He got it so high. And look at the split screen there, how they're both working. And that was a good shot there by Muster, because it did clip the net. He could have done a little bit more with that smash. I'm not saying that Muster is saying any bad words or speaking in English, but it is amazing how many non-English speaking tennis players, when they talk to themselves on the courts, talk to themselves in English. Unsighted by the lines person.
Well, that's one reaction from Thomas. I suspect, oh no, well done. Ah, yes, I thought there might be a little mutter. Yes, he saved it to the next point. Ninth ace.
Brilliant stuff, brilliant stuff.
Muster turning it on in every respect. And now this becomes an absolute must-win game for Jim Courier. Muster in this mood, there's no way back, I think, from 2 breaks. Plum on the line. Stunning stuff.
He's vulnerable to the forehand down the line if Muster can keep it in, and he does. wheels have half fallen off. I don't know if they'll fall off completely, but certainly Courier's got a lot of work to do to get back into this match.
Yes, Muster knows that this is the moment. He wants to produce his best. He feels he can make the winning thrust here.
Two good points to get the score back to 30 all, but he needs another couple of good points to win the game. It's a good forehand approach and a very brave smash. A little bit of speed off that first serve and got it even shorter. I think, when it was in the air, must have thought it might have been going wide. It didn't. Oh, well played, Courier.
He needed to play well. He came back from love 30 to win that game. He's still a breakdown, but at least he's in touch in the fourth set. 2-1 Muster. Past midnight in the morning, Melbourne time. Of course, it's a match that was held up for 40 minutes. Oh gosh, more problems for Muster this time. It looks like I might be right with the blister.
Yes, I think you're right this time.
But until I see it for myself. So Bill Norris has been kept busy. I tell you, that, these people, the physios, the doctors have been working. Been working double hard today. Courier asking what's going on.
There is a limit to the number of timeouts that you can have due to injury.
Not if it's another injury, and this is a different one.
Not if it's another injury.
Yeah.
I think that's what Courier's saying. Well, how many injuries is this guy going to have on me? I mean, he's leading me 2-1 in the fifth set, and he's injured. He's injured here, he's injured there, he's injured everywhere. What's going on?
Don't forget, once this match is over, we will be looking back on another terrific day, another day full of incident and drama at the Ford Australian Open. We'll be with you all the way through until 7 o'clock tonight, UK time, 8 Central European. And the way things pan out, we have 2 more night sessions, Tuesday and Wednesday, which means that we're able to bring you live action of the 2 quarter-final days. And then on Thursday, of course, we're down to the women's semi-finals, and Friday is men's semis. The ladies' final on Saturday, and the men's singles final will wrap up our coverage next Sunday. News of Frew McMillan, well, we're all awaiting it. He's having 1 or 2 tests this morning, and we hope he may be back with us tomorrow.
Well, if he can't get back to us tomorrow, then he better get himself fit for Wimbledon, because I'm not carrying him, I can assure you of that. Provided he can talk the committee into inviting us into playing again. I love it when I play with him, because I know he can carry me. His shoulders are very, very broad. Muster to serve, 2-1, fifth set.
Fourth set.
Fourth set. I'm getting excited here.
well, we had the hot dog attempt. Fabulous stuff.
It's good tactics by Courier, because if he's has a blistered toe, make him run. Maybe he'll get some more blisters on his feet. Right now, this is where Courier has to just tighten up a little bit. He has to keep playing his own natural game, hitting the ball very hard, but cut down on the errors, make his opponent work that much harder.
Yes, that was a poor shot from Courier. Normally so secure on the forehand.
A little bit like Enquist yesterday. Enquist was struggling to find his range on the forehand.
Ace number 10 for Thomas Muster. And he takes one more step towards a place in the quarterfinals.
Thomas quickly just pointing out, and Jim accepting his help.
Yes, he really is missing these forehands now. And you heard his reaction.
He was love 30 down his last service game, wasn't he? And he got out of it.
I like the way Courier really looks at his opponent, stares them in the face.
You don't think he's just checking that he's ready? You think he's doing a little bit more than that?
Mm-hmm.
Done that off forehand again.
15-40, 2 points for a 4-1 lead. Surely that would be decisive. There's a spring in the Muster step now. He feels he's got it. Courier will fight, but Muster has a clear advantage, 4-1.
Fakten, Fakten, Fakten und an die Leser denken.
Über 5 Millionen Leser informieren sich Woche für Woche mit Fokus. Lesen auch Sie Nachrichten ohne Umwege. Fokus kommt schneller auf den Punkt. Überzeugen Sie sich selbst. Wählen Sie 0130 3009 und testen Sie Fokus 10 Wochen lang für nur 36 Mark. Als kleines Dankeschön erhalten Sie die Original Fokus Mini Datenbank. Rufen Sie jetzt an 0130 3009. Wir schicken Ihnen postwendend die Unterlagen zu.
Plenty for Jim Courier to ponder now. Must have thought when he came from a set down and led 2-1 with a break in the third set that things were swinging his way. But since then, it's swung back in favour of Muster. 2 breaks of serve now to the Austrian in the fourth set. 4-1, leading by 2-1. And interesting, Muster out there early, saying, come on, I got you.
Suddenly the forehand is absolutely deserted Jim Courier. And that's his big weapon.
Oh, he really had to slam on the brakes. Of course, if he touched the net before the ball bounced for a second time, it was point to Courier. He creamed that shot and he really thought he'd made it.
Let's see if we can agree with the call. It was very, very close. Couldn't get down with his body quite sufficient to lift it up with the top spin.
Really served well, I think, for the last set and a half, Muster. And he moves to a 5-1 four-set lead.
A little bit strange, that first volley. He got away with it, but thought he might have done a little bit more with it. Maybe 5-1 up, but you know darn well that Muster will not just rest on his laurels and let Courier hold serve here and then serve out the match. He will, if at all possible, break right here once again for the third time in the set. Doesn't look like he's going to, though.
Oh, he's missed a couple of sitters. And how many forehands down the line has Thomas Muster made in the last half a dozen games or so?
Well, it's the forehand down the line that I thought Courier would be doing a little bit more often than Muster, but Courier has been missing too many. Muster, to this stage, has missed so few.
Ninth ace from Courier. Whereas Muster has come on strong in the aces department, Courier served 4 of his in the first set. But he has forced Muster to serve it out.
He's had to do that, and I firmly believe Bill Norris is coming along just to check that everything's okay, and it is. But I really do firmly believe that Jim Courier believes he can still win this. He's just not the type of guy not to believe that otherwise.
Yeah, yes, he's a real fighter. They both are. I suppose if it does go in 4 sets, it won't quite have been the classic we were anticipating, but you sense the longer that third set went, the more important it became. Courier's never quite recovered from the loss of it, and at the moment the very, very hot favourite to win is Thomas Muster. But Courier will be telling himself, I haven't lost to this guy since 1990, and I've beaten him 7 times since. And there's no reason why I can't turn this one around, even at the 11th second of the 11th hour, 11th minute of the 11th hour. (5-2), Muster serving for a place in the last 8. That shot will go down as the one that's really won it for Muster.
Decides to come in late because he sees his approach shot has caught Courier going the wrong way. Forehand approach from Muster, making it 30 all.
Terrific play from Courier, and suddenly his hopes revive. A chance to get one of the breaks back.
And it's his favourite forehand that sets up the point with that off forehand. Good serve.
Oh, great stuff.
Courier's played that type of point a couple of times, hasn't he? And seems to have won just about every one of them. That one with a great touch on the forehand drop volley.
Break point again. Oh, he lost a string. What a time for that to happen.
Well, he won't exactly sprint across to change his racket. He won't crawl, but he'll certainly take a legitimate amount of time just to let Musta think a little bit more.
Back to Juice. What a get on the half volley from Courier. Just Musta gave it all he had.
Well, he played this point so well, it's obviously the right racket for him.
And for a third time, Courier holds break point. Well, these two have saved the best to last, it seems to me. The standard of tennis now is simply outstanding.
It really is. He needed to go cross-court on this four-handed Courier, or alternatively come up with a screamer down the line. He couldn't do it. He was under too much pressure. Really dictated completely by Musta.
Only his fifth double fault of the entire match. And is Musta just tightening up on the point of victory? Oh my word. Well, to quote the old phrase, I think the fat lady's just put a songbook away.
Maybe she couldn't find it to put it away.
Well, Courier's still a break behind, but boy, if he holds here, it'll become interesting.
Too keen that time, I believe, to take a forehand. The return was pretty strong, a little bit wide. He loves to run around his backhand, of course, to hit the forehand, as does Musta. You've got to pick your moments.
Well, Courier getting very frustrated with himself, not with anybody else, certainly not with the monitor. It's just that he keeps hitting his first serves long.
Well, I thought he said, figure it out.
Yeah.
He said, figure it out.
To himself.
Yes, figure it out. Figure out how to get it in. That's really what he's saying. Figure out how to get a forehand in as well.
2 match points for Thomas Muster after some 2 hours and 58 minutes of actual playing time.
That ball was so low he almost hit it on the throat of the racket. Just got over the net, and it didn't really sit up as much as Muster would have liked to have had it sit up.
It's the forehand to the forehand corner that's won the match for Thomas Muster, and fitting that he finishes with precisely that shot. Terrific contest, perhaps not the classic we'd hoped for, but some superb play from both of them at times. And it's Thomas Muster who ends his losing streak against Jim Courier. And it's Muster who advances to the quarterfinals after just under 3 hours.
Well, what can you say about a match that didn't quite live up to its expectations, but it's always going to be very difficult to do that because the expectations were so jolly high. Yet at the same time, it had a lot of drama. It had some great shots. It had some terrible shots. It had injuries. It had a light blowout for 40 minutes. They had to stop. It really did have everything. It's just a pity, perhaps, that it didn't go to 5 sets. 4 sets is fine. Muster will be delighted.
Right, now we're going to start our look back, and we're going to pick up that match we were showing you before between Rubin and Van Roost.